think the first obstacle is out on the trail. I hate my garage. It's small, it's tight, barely fits my 2 cars. We are starting our adventure. And I think every Jeeper knows how a Jeep adventure starts. We are currently heading southeast on a undeclosed pavement road, soon to be dirt. We're gonna head up into the mountains, check out some snow, just south of Tucson. Not too far. Okay, so we just turned off the pavement. Now we're on our dirt road. Yeah, it's really bumpy. My camera's gonna fall off the mountain. But it's probably a good point to air down your tires. This road's real washboardy and rough. However, I can't do that because I don't have any means to air back up again, and I don't want to drive too far on deflated tires. So here we are on this bumpy road. Really bumpy too. A lot worse than what I remember. Slow going. Mountains are pretty though. You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's because of COVID. I'd imagine it's the COVID, or maybe it's just because it's the first nice day we've had in a while. After a big snow, the weather, it's been cold, and so now the weather's nice. It's a Friday, so I'm off today, but I guess there's other people that are off. Anyway, I figured Mount Lemmon would be packed full of people. So I thought I'd come out here in the middle of nowhere, run these trails out here so I can get away from people. And already I've seen more people out here than I've seen in a long time. Well, they're all mostly Jeeps, but I thought I could get out here away from people, and here I am bumping into people again. Don't you love it when you're tripping over people even in the middle of nowhere? So anyway, here we are on this 2-track. Let me give you guys a show of what I'm seeing here. Mountains. I don't see snow very often. I hate to be a Jeep owner and complain about the mud, but out here we don't get a lot of mud. It's all dust, so you can keep your vehicles fairly clean. So yeah, maybe I'll complain a little bit about getting muddy. That's alright. It's not been muddy in a long time. Just going nice and slow. I'll probably put in 4-wheel drive here for too long so I can go, so I can disconnect my sway bar and give myself a smoother ride. Yes, I know I should have aired down, but like I said, I don't have means to air up again. Just bear with me. Just a short little trip, not too extreme. Just a nice little weekend getaway. Get to the top of the mountains, have a little lunch, and then come back down. article, and it was by I don't know, some guy was writing for Quadratech, and they were so bent on defining overlanding. They really wanted to put a true definition to overlanding. And it was interesting to read, and they wanted to differentiate the difference between guys that off-road and guys that overland. So this is my 2 cents worth. Man, I come out here and there's a Jeep guy. I don't know. I figured I was gonna be the only guy out here. Where's my camera? So anyhow, my 2 cents worth on overlanding. If you are camping out of your vehicle or out of a vehicle, if you take your 43-foot trailer and you're going all over the country, you pull it to wherever, and you set up in campsites. I think they're called, are they KOAs? You know, that's a type of overlanding. Granted, it's not as extreme as the guys that go out for weeks, months, years on end, right? Those guys are the extreme overlanding. So my point is, there are overlanders. You can be an overlander. If you're a weekend warrior, I have a job. I can't overland for years, for months, for weeks. I can't do that. But I go out on the weekends, take my Jeep, go camping out in the boondocks. I consider myself an overlander. If you go out to a campsite, you're living out of your vehicle, you have a hard time with maybe the people that take their 43-foot, they downsize to a 37-foot fifth wheel to the lake on weekends. Once every 6 months. Mom, Dad, yeah, those are glampers, I guess. So my point is that overlanding, anybody can be an overlander. Don't get caught up on the definition of overlanding. Now, I will say that there are, within overlanding, I would say there's different degrees of overlanding. Whether you are a weekend warrior like myself, or the guy that lives out of his truck for the last 6 years, I would say that, okay, yeah, there's different degrees. But don't get caught up over who's an overlander and who's an off-roader. It's not that big a deal. You know, the camera never does steepness justice. You just can't get an idea of how steep something is with a video. And I'm gonna give it a shot. Probably not gonna work. Can you tell just how steep that is? I mean, you probably can't. But this is the begin of the climb. This is the beginning of the climb up the mountain, and there's some switchbacks. Beginning the climb up the mountain, these are the switchbacks that I was telling you about. We're almost to the top now, so it's not that bad. The nice thing about having a four-wheel drive, I have a Jeep, I like Jeeps, but four-wheel drives can take you places that you can't normally go anywhere else. You know, I've got this looking out my side views here. This is pretty nice stuff. happy with my Jeep, happy with the terrain that I'm able to get up and over. Just be careful when you go out. Safety first. Have a good time. So this is the other switchback. We're almost to the top here. I think this is the last one. Not quite Black Bear Pass, but they're switchbacks all the same. I'm not sure if you guys can see how steep these are. Too shabby. Alright, as with any good overlanding video, which this is not really an overlanding video, I'm doing this all in one day. I'm an off-roader. I'm up here eating because we all have to show how good the food is and how good eating we can be, even when we're out in the wilderness. Shows your manliness. But this is a nice area. There's still another track up there. It's really steep. Again, the camera probably can't do it any justice, but it goes way up there. I've had troubles in my Jeep before, but I'm not gonna try that today. I'm not prepared. Not prepared. I thought there'd be more snow up here, but there's no snow. Anyhow, that's it for this trail. It just goes back down. I'm not sure if you got enough video coming up or not, but I probably got enough for a 5-minute video after all the editing and the nonsense. Out here in the desert, you should always bring water, lots of water. Never gets old. Whew. %. That's probably it. Adios. Oh, you fucker. Fuck. Oh. That's probably gonna be on the gag reel. That's just backing out of my driveway. But, keep calling those people. Oh, fuck. Oh. I have a hard time. This is called B-roll. Sucks. Shit. That was a long one. Drove too far away.